Education in Pakistan with the reference of the study done by the World Bank. The World Bank sums up education in Pakistan as follows. Literacy rates one of the lowest in the world. So unfortunately, the literacy rate is very less in Pakistan, rather one of the lowest in the world. As it has been mentioned before, that the literacy rate, as summed up in the previous reports, was less than 50%. Very low system efficiency and a lack of educational opportunities for many, particularly for girls in the rural areas. So even if there is an educational system prevailing, the system efficiency is very low. The system is not taking care of those who are in the rural areas, and even those who are in the urban areas. The system is not to be said that it is flawless. It has many flaws, and there are so many people who are not getting the right to educate themselves, and especially their lack of educational opportunities are prevailing amongst the girl students in the rural areas. So these are all the areas which are being neglected by the education system. And this has been reported by the World Bank, and it needs a lot of attention of the government. Perhaps the most critical problem impeding expansion of education is the unavailability of female teachers. So that is a pitiable situation, that although the female population is great in great percentage in Pakistan, still there are no female teachers to teach the students, especially the girl students in the rural areas. And this is been the study has been done by the World Bank in 1988, and it says that the unavailability of female teachers is causing a lot of problem, and due to it has become a critical problem in the expansion of education. So the education is suffering in Pakistan because there are not many female teachers. When we look at the situation in big cities and capital cities, we come across many lady teachers here. But that is because the overall education system in the towns and in big capital cities is very much in place due to privatization. There are many organizations which are having both the female and male institutions being run in the same premises, and the same methodologies and curriculum are being introduced. But this is the case only in big cities and capital cities, whereas the towns and the villages are totally neglected. And there is a lot of gender discrimination in institutions, and there is a different and partial attitude towards training the female teachers and training the male teachers. So there is a lack of professionalism throughout in the rural areas, due to which again it is going to affect the school. With the absence of female teachers, the number of female students will not be increasing, because the parents would not be willing to send their daughters to the schools in the absence of female teachers. Because of the unavailability of female teachers, according to the World Bank report in 1988, this has become a critical problem for Pakistan to increase the literacy rate in the country, especially in the rural areas. Also, there are many NGOs working in the urban areas which need to expand their branches in the rural areas to help those who are not being looked after by the government. So it is not only the government which can bring changes, rather it can be also on self-help basis, and also on something shared by the NGOs to make education possible amongst the girl students, and to provide female teachers in the schools, especially in the rural areas, to increase the rate of literacy in the country. This is going to make a great difference in the understanding of the community, and the culture needs to make a big change in order to let everyone have the right of education, which is the basic right of every human being especially with reference to Islam.